Kawasaki is known for engineering motorcycles that ignite passion and promise speed, yet behind the company's legendary reputation are engines that can make or break a rider's trust. In 3 worst and 4 best Kawasaki engines to own, we're exposing the machines that delivered racing thrills, or devastating failures. Imagine buying a bike chasing Kawasaki's high-performance dream, only to discover your ZX10R eating through valves before 10,000 miles, a KZ1000 stalling with every carburetor quirk, or your Versys 650 leaving you stranded from a stator meltdown. These stories aren't just myths, they're drawn from owner forums, teardown bills, and a decade of reliability data. But can Kawasaki's brightest engines redeem a history of costly mistakes? Let's dive into the engines you need to know before you buy. Track riders called it the Heartbreaker. The 2004 to 2007 ZX10R was built to chase lap records, but its engine had a nasty habit of biting back. Owners on ZX10R.net warned each other, check your valves every 5,000 miles, or risk losing compression before you ever see a podium. Some reported valve recession showing up in less than 10,000 kilometers, barely a season for a regular at the circuit. The oil level? Drop a gear, hit the red line, and you'd lose up to 600 milliliters every 1,000 kilometers. Miss a top-up, and you could seize a piston before the next track day. Heat was another enemy. Stoplights in summer turned the ZX10R into a rolling furnace, with coolant bubbling and the temperature gauge spiking, especially in city traffic. One owner summed it up, "I spent more time reshiming valves and topping oil than riding." When the head finally needed a rebuild, the bill landed north of $1,200, sometimes double if the pistons or guides were cooked. For every thrill on the straight, there was a repair bill waiting in the pits. The KZ1000 is a legend on the street, but ownership comes with a toolkit and a lot of patience. Vintage wrenchers know the drill. Every few thousand miles, it's time to pull the carburetors for a deep clean. Let them sit too long, and you're rewarded with hard starts and a bike that sputters instead of roars. Cam chain tensioner noise is the soundtrack of a KZ1000's middle age. Ignore it, and that ticking sound can escalate to a full-blown failure, risking engine damage that's neither cheap nor easy to fix. Electrical gremlins are part of the package too. Faulty wiring and random short circuits mean unreliable lights and the occasional no start, sometimes mid-ride, sometimes in your own garage. Owner swap stories on kzrider.com, spare tensioners in the saddlebag, roadside carburetor swaps, and wiring jobs done with whatever's at hand. The power and nostalgia are real, but so is the constant chase to keep the machine running right. For the everyday rider, the Versys 650 looked like the answer to every commuter's wish list. Upright ergonomics, enough power for the highway, and just enough adventure DNA for weekend escapes. But beneath that versatility, a silent threat lurked in the charging system. The stator, responsible for keeping the battery alive, often tapped out before 25,000 miles. Owners on KawasakiVersys.com traded voltage readings and repair tips, some on their 3rd or 4th stator replacement. One commuter described the routine. You make plans. The bike makes other plans. When the stator goes, so does your dash, your lights, and your ride home. Clutch basket wear followed close behind, with reports of slippage cropping up before 30,000 miles, turning smooth shifts into a guessing game. Add in a persistent buzz at 5,000 to 6,000 RPM, and long rides became an exercise in patience. For riders counting on reliability, the Versys 650 delivered more anxiety than assurance. For riders who want a machine that just works, no drama, no surprises, the ZX6R 636 cubic centimeters stands out as a blueprint for balanced reliability. This isn't a bike that demands constant attention or drains your wallet with every oil change. Valve checks come up every 15,000 miles, but most owners report they rarely need adjustment. One long-term review on Front Wheel Up describes the experience simply. You ride, you maintain, you keep riding. It's not unusual to find these engines running strong past 50,000 miles, still pulling cleanly through the rev range. The secret is in the engineering. Kawasaki gave this inline-4 enough breathing room to deliver real sport bike thrills without flirting with self-destruction. Track days, daily commutes, weekend canyon runs, the ZX6R handles it all, earning its reputation as the balanced sport rider's best friend. Then there's the KLR 650, a living legend among adventure riders. This single-cylinder workhorse isn't about peak horsepower or high-tech wizardry. It's about going the distance again and again with nothing more than basic tools and a can of oil. Owners have logged over 200,000 miles on original engines, as documented in Facebook groups and global travel logs. The KLR's simplicity is its superpower. Valve checks are straightforward, roadside fixes are common, and parts are available from Alaska to Argentina. One rider's maintenance record reads like a travel diary. Oil changes every few thousand miles, a valve check here, a chain adjustment there. No catastrophic failures, just steady progress across continents. For the globetrotter, the KLR 650 isn't just a motorcycle, it's a passport to anywhere, built on trust and mechanical honesty. Raw power doesn't get more outrageous than the Ninja H2R. This is Kawasaki's track-only supercharged monster, pushing out a verified 310 horsepower at 14,000 RPM, numbers that still leave the rest of the motorcycle world playing catch-up. The H2R isn't just fast, it's a spectacle. Acceleration pins you to the tank, the intake whale is straight out of MotoGP, and the electronics package, traction control, quick shifter, launch assist, reads like a wish list for the elite. But this kind of performance comes with a price. Specialist service is non-negotiable, with supercharger rebuilds costing over $5,000 and routine maintenance bills that can top $1,000 per visit. For the elite curator, it's not about daily usability, it's about owning a piece of engineering history, a collector's rocket that spends more time on the dyno than the street. On the other end of the spectrum sits the Z1000, the urban sprinter's weapon of choice. Here, the focus shifts from headline horsepower to everyday satisfaction. The Z1000's inline-4 delivers smooth, predictable power that makes city commutes and weekend blasts equally rewarding. Owners praise the balance, nimble handling, reliable starts, and maintenance that rarely interrupts the riding season. Minor complaints pop up. About 18% of owners report rust on exhaust pipes within 5 years, and fork seal leaks show up in roughly 1 out of 10 bikes by 20,000 miles. But these are quirks, not deal breakers. The Z1000's reputation is built on years of trouble-free service, straightforward repairs, and a community that rallies around small fixes rather than major overhauls. For riders who want performance without the drama, this is the Kawasaki engine that gets the job done day in and day out. Every rider brings a different set of priorities to the garage. Track day regulars chasing lap times gravitate toward the ZX6R 636 cubic centimeters. Its balance of power and reliability makes it a favorite for those who want to ride hard without constant wrenching. The KLR 650 attracts the adventure crowd, riders who value a bike that can cross continents on a shoestring and shrug off rough roads with basic tools. Urban commuters and weekend sprinters often pick the Z1000, drawn by its smooth power delivery and low-maintenance reputation. For collectors and thrill seekers with deep pockets, the Ninja H2R stands alone. More trophy than daily ride, but unmatched for pure spectacle. Matching your riding style and budget to the engine's strengths is the difference between years of satisfaction and a string of repair bills. Before signing on the dotted line, a smart buyer asks for proof of regular valve clearance checks, especially on any ZX10R or high-mileage ZX6R. For the Versys 650, a quick voltage test at the battery can reveal a failing stator before it leaves you stranded. Always start the bike cold and listen for cam chain noise on older KZ1000s, and check for hard starting that hints at carburetor issues. Scan the exhaust for rust, and inspect fork seals for leaks on any Z1000. Walk away from bikes with missing service records or unexplained engine work. surprise repairs can easily top $1,500, even on models known for reliability. Ask the seller about oil consumption, electrical gremlins, and any upgrades or fixes done. A few minutes with a flashlight and a service log can save you thousands and ensure your Kawasaki experience starts with confidence, not regret. Between 2004 and 2016, Kawasaki released engines that ranged from the ZX-10R's documented valve failures, reported by dozens of owners before 20,000 miles, to the KLR 650's proven ability to surpass 100,000 miles with basic care. Forum records, teardown reports, and service logs reveal a clear pattern. Some models, like the Versys 650, faced widespread stator breakdowns and clutch issues, while others, such as the Ninja H2R and Z1000, earned reputations for consistent reliability and rider satisfaction. Yet, not all causes are fully understood. The long-term effects of certain engineering changes, and how future models will balance performance with durability, remain ongoing debates in the Kawasaki community. Today, buyers still rely on documented owner experiences and maintenance records to make informed choices. What's clear is that, for Kawasaki owners, careful research and attention to known issues remain the surest path to dependable riding.